Heart of the Shore, Episode 10. 3 bids in hours, not days. How LocalJobs works for Jersey Shore contractors. Signed, Love of Humanity. If you've ever run a job on the Jersey Shore, you know the part nobody brags about. It's Tuesday morning. The crew is lined up. The schedule looks tight but doable. And then you realize you still need a 30-yard dumpster, a portable toilet, and temporary fencing on site by Thursday. So you do what you've always done. You start calling. You call one vendor you used last year, voicemail. You call another, we'll get back to you. You call a third, they can't make your dates. You text a buddy, he sends a number. You call again. By the time you get 2 quotes, you've burned half a day and the job is already drifting. Now here's the question. What if you could post that request in 2 minutes and get real bids from local vetted numbers without chasing anyone down? That's what we're talking about today. I'm your host, and this is Heart of the Shore, where we take practical, local steps toward stronger families and a stronger community. Today's episode is about LocalJobs, a Jersey Shore job site services marketplace where local vetted vendors compete for your job. You pick the winner, and you can choose to keep your referral credit, apply it to your next job, or donate it to local family relief through Love of Humanity. You can find it at localjobs.advalorum.io. And before we go further, quick clarity. LocalJobs is a marketplace. Love of Humanity is a nonprofit. They're separate organizations. LocalJobs is operated by Valorum Foundation, Inc., a New Jersey C Corporation. Love of Humanity, Inc. is a registered 501c3 public charity. Love of Humanity does not operate the marketplace and does not select vendors. What Love of Humanity does is simple. We help families in Monmouth County keep the lights on, keep safe temperatures at home, and keep food on the table through direct energy relief, microgrants, and education. So today we're going to do 3 things. 1, we'll talk about what LocalJobs is and how it works for general contractors and site supervisors. 2, we'll talk about how it works for vendors, dumpster companies, portable toilet providers, fence rentals, on-site security. And 3, we'll talk about why any of this belongs on a community podcast at all, because the way money moves locally matters, especially when times are tight. Let's get into it. Segment 1. The real problem. Time, uncertainty, and the phone tag. There are a lot of reasons projects get delayed. Weather, inspections, materials, a sub who disappears. But there's a quieter kind of delay that happens constantly, and it rarely shows up in anyone's marketing. It's the delay of coordination. The I need 3 quotes delay. The I can't get anybody on the phone delay. The I'm not even sure who services this town delay. If you're a GC or a site supervisor, you're not just building, you're managing uncertainty. And every time you have to stop what you're doing and track down a dumpster, a portable toilet, temporary fencing, or job site security, you pay in the only currency you can't buy back: attention. Now multiply that by all the jobs happening from, say, Asbury Park down through Toms River and beyond. It's not just one contractor losing half a day. It's thousands of small delays that add up across a region. And when schedules slip, costs rise. Sometimes that cost gets absorbed by the contractor. Sometimes it gets pushed down to subs. Sometimes it gets pushed up to customers. But the point is, friction is expensive. LocalJobs is an attempt to take one specific kind of friction, job site services sourcing, and make it simple. Not perfect, not magical, just simpler. Here's the simplest way to say it. LocalJobs is a Jersey Shore job site services marketplace. The categories that are live right now include dumpsters, portable toilets, fencing, and security. The premise is straightforward. Your local vendors compete for your job. You pick the winner. That's it. Now, marketplace can sound like a big Silicon Valley word, so let's translate it into job site reality. You have a need. You post the need. Vendors who actually serve that need get notified. They send bids. You choose. Instead of you calling around to find who's available, the available people come to you. And that one inversion, turning phone tag into incoming bids, is where the time savings can happen. Let's walk through the contractor side. Imagine you're running a job. You need a dumpster swap and an additional unit, or you need a portable toilet because the crew is expanding, or you need temporary fence panels because a site is exposed. With LocalJobs, the idea is that you can make a request quickly. Think 2 minutes, not 2 hours. You describe what you need. You include the job site address. You include dates. You add any special requirements. Then the request goes out to local vendors who are set up to respond. And then you wait for bids. But not the kind of wait you're used to, not days. The goal is hours. And when bids come in, you're not comparing vague promises. You're comparing offers. You pick the winner, and you move on. If you are a GC or a site super listening right now, here's the one small action version of this episode. Go to localjobs.advalorum.io. Post a job request. Try it once. Even if you don't book through it the first time, you'll learn how it works. And if you do get 3 good bids quickly, you'll feel it immediately because you just got a chunk of your day back. If you are a GC or site super, post a job at localjobs.advalorum.io. Now let's talk about the part that connects LocalJobs to love of humanity. LocalJobs has an optional referral credit concept. The language on the site is clear. You can earn a referral credit, you can keep it, apply it to your next job, or donate it to local family relief. And the donation part is voluntary. No one is forced, no one is guilted. It's a choice. If you choose to donate your referral credit, that donation goes to Love of Humanity, a separate New Jersey 501c3 nonprofit. And what does Love of Humanity do? Here's the core mission statement on our site. Every family in Monmouth County deserves warmth in winter, cool air in summer, and food on the table. We provide direct energy relief, microgrants, and education to make that possible. So in plain language, the credit donation option is a way to connect local business activity to local household stability. Not with a complicated program, not with 1,000 forms. Just a simple choice when you're already doing business. Segment 5. Why this matters. The local economy is a community system. Now, if you're listening and you're not a contractor or a vendor, you might be thinking, why are we talking about dumpsters and portable toilets on a community podcast? Here's why. Because community resilience is not only about charity, it's about systems. It's about whether families have stable housing, stable energy, stable food. And those things are influenced by the local economy. When local jobs move through local vendors, dollars circulate. When projects run smoother, income is more stable. When income is more stable, households have fewer emergencies. And when emergencies do happen, because life happens, there's a community infrastructure that can respond. Love of Humanity exists for that response. Our work focuses on the intersection of climate change and household economic hardship, the place where rising temperatures meet rising utility bills. We do direct energy relief. We support microgrants for neighborhood resilience. We offer education through the Climate Smart Households Academy. We partner on pilots, solar and hydroponics, so families can be less vulnerable to the next disruption. So when LocalJobs offers an optional credit donation to support that work, it's not random. It's one more pathway for local activity to support local stability. Segment 6. How it works for vendors.
Now, let's talk to the vendors. If you run a dumpster company, a portable toilet business, a fence rental operation, or on-site security, your world has its own form of friction. Your friction is lead quality. You've probably spent time on cold calls, unreturned emails, bidding on jobs that aren't real, or dealing with price shopping where nobody books. LocalJobs is pitching something different. The language is direct. Stop cold calling. Start receiving verified job site demand from contractors who are ready to book. That's the promise. Now, any vendor listening knows promises are easy. What matters is whether there's real demand and whether the process respects your time. So here's the practical takeaway if you're a vendor. Claim your presence early. If you're in the coverage area, Monmouth and Ocean County to start, you want your profile claimed before your competitors are the default. During beta, the point is to build density. Marketplaces only work when the supply side is strong. So if you got an email recently from partnerships at donatetoloveofhumanity.com and it mentioned claiming a profile, take a second look. If you didn't get that email, you can still go to localjobs.advalorum.io and look for the sign-in or vendor path. The goal is not to join another platform. The goal is to reduce wasted time and connect you with real job site needs. Vendors, sign up at localjobs.advalorum.io. Segment 7. Trust, vetting, and real people in real towns. Now, there's another reason this can matter on the Jersey Shore. Our local economy is a relationship economy. People remember who showed up. People remember who answered the phone. People remember who made a problem disappear.
And in construction, reputation is everything. LocalJobs emphasizes local vetted vendors. Now, vetted can mean different things in different contexts, so here's how I want you to think about it as a listener. Vetting is not a guarantee that nothing goes wrong. Vetting is a signal that someone has made a baseline effort to reduce risk. It's a starting point. And the real trust still comes from performance, from being on time, from communicating, from leaving a site cleaner than you found it. That's the Jersey Shore standard. In a marketplace that helps good vendors get booked again and again and again, that can strengthen the whole ecosystem. Segment 8. Who should use this today? Let's make this really concrete. Who should sign up today? First, general contractors and site supervisors. If you run multi-trade jobs and you spend more than 30 minutes a week chasing quotes for job site services, try LocalJobs. Post one request, see what comes back. Second, job site service vendors, dumpsters, portable toilets, fencing, security. If you want real local demand without the runaround, get positioned early. Third, industry-adjacent folks, project managers, suppliers, economic development staff, people who care about how local small businesses connect. Even if you're not ready to use it, you can get on the list so you know when your area opens. And that's important because a lot of innovations fail for one simple reason. People hear about them 6 months too late. Segment 9. The community lens. Small choices, big effects. Now, I want to zoom out for a minute. In community work, we sometimes act like there are only two categories.
There's business and there's nonprofit. There's commerce and there's help. But that separation isn't real in everyday life. A family doesn't experience life in categories. They experience it as one long month. Bills, groceries, gas, school, a sick day, a heat wave, a cold snap. And for a lot of families, one disruption turns into a spiral. A high utility bill becomes an overdue notice. An overdue notice becomes a shutoff threat. A shutoff threat becomes stress. Stress becomes missed work. Missed work becomes less income. That's why Love of Humanity focuses on energy relief, microgrants, and education. Because a small intervention at the right time can keep a family stable. Now, how does LocalJobs connect? If LocalJobs makes it easier for contractors to run jobs without constant coordination delays, that's time and stability on the business side. And if contractors choose to donate referral credits, that's support for the household side. It's not charity replacing business. It's business activity creating an optional path to strengthen the community. Segment 10. What's coming next? LocalJobs is in a coming soon beta phase, so what should you expect next? More categories, more town-by-town coverage, more vendor density so bids are faster and more competitive. And on the Love of Humanity side, our commitment is transparency. As this grows, we want to be able to report how many credits were donated, what those funds supported, which towns benefited. Because trust is built with receipts, not just good intentions. Closer. So, here's the close. If you take one thing from this episode, post a job, claim a profile, or put yourself on the launch list.
The marketplace only works when local people show up on both sides, and the community impact only happens when contractors choose to donate. That's a real choice you'll get to make. Thanks for listening to Heart of the Shore. I'm signing off as Love of Humanity. LocalJobs.advalorum.io. 3 bids in hours, not days.